Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Welcome to this event to celebrate the contribution of John Gorey Curran to the community of Letterkenny and indeed its hinterland. We're going to do this in two stages. We're going to have a quick unveiling here of the seat by our guest of honour, the magnificent Packie Bonnar. And indeed the magnificent Packie here. After that, we're going to go over to the hotel, into the main room there, and we'll have a few short contributions from Packie certainly, and perhaps from the family. So I'm going to ask a pair of scissors to make themselves known. Excellent, fantastic.
They're really sharp. Right, come on, Betty, come on up here.
And I will get out of the way.
Come on in. You can only cut this once, you see. Right, count down. 5, 3, 2, 1. Okay, excellent. Thank you, guys.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, if we can make our way back across the road, taking care of the traffic, obviously, into the main room, the Den Swilly Suite, and the Station House Hotel, and we have a few more formalities there. That sound good? Excellent.
Thank you, Anyway, Carmi.
Yeah, great turn.
We have got most of you across the road. Lesson number 1 is don't divide a group. Some people will cross the road and some people won't. But that's life. Anyway, if you want to take a moment there to find a seat. The Letterkenny Community Heritage Group are proud tonight to honour the contribution of John Gorey Curran to the footballing community of Letterkenny and indeed to the broader aspects of his contribution to the town. And it's right and proper that we do that. And it's great to see so many people here this evening. So we're not going to be too long. So I'm going to ask now our chairperson, the man who was in so many ways both the brains and the brawn behind this project, and that is the chairperson of Letterkenny Community Heritage Group, Johnny Joe McCollum.
Thanks everybody for coming to support Joe Curran.
We all knew John around the town. He was a great man, and he was in that many organisations. I just remembered about a week ago too, he was in the Letterkenny reunion, and then him and Betty went away to America. This simple man, decent man, Terry Benson.
Not right.
But when Gorey's name was mentioned at that Heritage meeting, we all agreed 100% they have a need for Gorey. And thanks to Packie Bonnar for coming, and it was the Curran family got Packie here, because Packie was probably in the FAA with Gorey, I would say. And Herbie Barr's here as well, he's from the FAA. John McConnell, he's involved in the FAA and he couldn't make it. I think Desi Kelly's here, is he? Yeah, and it's good to see Desi here too, and the people could make it. But I remember years ago, the Curran family had a house up beside the Devon Hall, and we used to be going to the cinema at night. That time we used to call it the Picture House. But beside the Devon, the house belly was right beside the Devon. And we used to look up on the way past, and we seen all these football jerseys hanging out in the line. So Gorey was a great man, but we also can't forget Betty, because she had to wash all them football jerseys. And there was not too many washing machines, I don't think, at the time. And I don't think there was a laundrette in Letterkenny at that time. I think we had cleans going on the main street or something, So that's what I can remember.
Dermot at the top of the head.
He wanted out the top one. Yeah.
He got it at the shop.
Aye.
Top of the high road.
I remember the big Dermot man. That's a man they called Sugarfoot, wasn't it? Something like that, wasn't it? But anyway, listen, it's lovely to see the turnout tonight for the Curran family, and thanks everybody for coming. Thanks again to you, Kerry, we do a lot of work on this as well. Or sorry, Carmick. Okay, and thanks for Packie for coming and all. Hey, you're right.
Thank you, Johnny Joe McCollum. Some years ago, many years ago, it was the summer of 1991, and I was walking down Grafton Street in Dublin. And some of you may recall it was a time when you would have seen a lot of televisions on display in shop windows and the like. And there was a football match on one of these televisions as I strolled by, and I stopped to watch it. I quickly worked out that it was Ireland versus Romania from the World Cup the previous year. And I stood on my own watching it and realised it was the last few minutes of normal time. By the time that extra time had finished, there was about 50, 60, 70 people now gathered around that television. It was a year since the event, everybody knew what was going to happen, but it didn't stop us all watching it again and reveling in it. And the strange thing is that I do remember at the moment that our next speaker went like that, and at the moment when David O'Leary went like that there was, bizarrely, a palpable sense of tension within that group of people. Because we couldn't quite believe that our little country, even a year after it, had got to the quarterfinals of the World Cup. So it is lovely to have somebody who was on the field at that moment here to speak about Gorey, and it's also appropriate that it's someone of that level. So ladies and gentlemen, Packie Bonnar.
Thank you. How are you? It's okay. Good. Listen, this is a night of I suppose, thanks to Gorey, thanks to Betty, thanks to the family, but it's also a night to remember John Gorey Curran. I had the privilege of meeting him many times, not so much maybe here in Donegal, apart from maybe I was a young man and went away when I was 18, but more so when he used to bump into him up in Dublin and the FAI and on trips and different things. And there was a time that we didn't have social media. that's for sure. So it was always about trying to build up relationships with people and communicating with people, and Gorey was the best at it. He had a smile, he had a way of meeting you, he had a way of shaking your hand, he had a way of almost making you feel that you were a very special person, and he was a very special person also in the company of others. So, you know, tonight is to honour him, but I also want to say honour all of the other people that I've met here tonight. I'm delighted to be here when John and my sister Bea, who's very friendly with Cormac and his wife, asked me to come along. I was here last week and I said, no, I'm coming back this week, so we'll do it this week. And it fitted in really, really well. I'm honoured to be here actually on this particular night for you, Betty, and your family. 17 years since we lost Gorey. It's a long time. That seat over there, I hope everybody comes and sits on it at least once and enjoy the moment and think about Gorey and think about what he contributed to the community, what he contributed. I know he was big into his politics also, and he was, but football was his life. And just talking to Cormac and them about having to give up the Sunday dinners to go away and drive him here, drive him there, or go with him to matches. And you know, people like Desi, all of the guys that I met here tonight, Charlie Collins, the old guys, Charlie Collins, is he still here, Charlie?
Unfortunately.
Oh, yeah, one of the old guys now, Charlie. But Joe, all of the guys who was around my time, you know, I was very fortunate that I got the opportunity to play football. And we were young boys playing with Keju, playing, you know, some of the guys we're talking about tonight, playing with Udor, playing with Swilly, playing with Rick Mullen, playing with Donegal Town, all very, very good young players. And we got the opportunity then to play for Donegal youth team with Richie Kelly and the guys. But those people gave us the opportunity, you know, and we must never forget. You know, they might have got a free dinner, they might have got a free ticket somewhere along the way when they were on committees and so on. But never forget what those people like Desi and all of that did for this county, and give people like myself and all those other young guys, Shay Given and so on, the opportunity to go to represent our country at the highest level. And without that opportunity, I kept saying about Mans McCall and these people, those were the people that set it up for us. And without those people, we would never have got that opportunity. Yes, we all enjoyed it. Yeah, we all were part of the celebration when we never won anything. We won a few games and we represented our country at the very highest level. And now we'll come back again. There is no doubt. We have a whole group of young guys now getting the opportunity again, and they will represent I have no doubt about it. They will represent the country. But I must say that Gorey and all the guys that give us the opportunity, and that's why I'm here tonight, to really honour them. And that seat will keep that memory alive also, which is really, really important. And Desi, they'll probably have another seat beside it for you too. But you have a bit of time yet. You're not going, is that okay? And all the other people that have been involved in Donegal League and the Shown League and so on and so forth. Our counties, we're very proud of our county. We're very proud of what we've achieved, and we're very proud of what we will achieve in the future and where we will go. And we're all in it together. That's the most important thing here from that perspective. So, Betty, I hope that memory tonight, you'll be thinking back all the good times, and all the family, 5 brothers, and is it the older sister? The older sister, and she tells me she was up at Finn Park or watching Finn Harps. 1994, is that right? 74, should I say? 74. Sorry, I'm giving away the age now. You know, 74, and we were all the same. We followed Finn Harps in our days too, and that, you know, and that sort of is in us. This whole football thing, and it'll live with us forevermore. So well done today. Well done to the Heritage Group for actually doing the work around this. You know, some people have got into the hard graft, that's for sure. So well done to everybody, and it's a special night for you all. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Packie, and it seemed appropriate that the man from Burton Port was here at the end of the line from Burton Port, Letterkenny, here at the Station House Hotel, talking to us this evening. So I'm now going to call on Sheila to say a few words. Sheila Curran.
Good evening, everybody, and it's a very privileged and honour night for the Curran family to be here this evening. And when we were told that the Heritage Committee were going to put up a seat in honour of my father. You can imagine it was both as a shock and a surprise, as well as a privilege to know that there is something that records his name, especially for his life in football, because that was his first love and his big love in life. He was involved in so many different areas of soccer football, both at a local, from summer cups in the 1950s to Letterkenny Rovers, or which was Letterkenny Crusaders back in the very, very early days, and right up through whether it was the Donegal League. But youth football, try and inspire young people to get involved in both community small local games in between, whether it was Glencar, Old Town, Ballyrane, to whether it was St Eunan's College, and with some of the priests there to develop young people's interest in soccer football, and then expanding it throughout the county. And then beyond that, when I was privileged to represent Ulster on the FAI. And I suppose one of my father's greatest moments was when Donegal youth team won the FAI Cup back in 2003 in Ballyar. And he never thought that a Donegal team, and Packie will well know that they fought very hard and very long to get proper facilities for soccer in Donegal, from where Dublin thought they were the centre of the universe, that a little team up in Donegal, youth team, won the FAI Youth Cup that day. And it was etched in my father's memory. And it's one of the moments that I always remembered, after all the graft, after all the hard work. And indeed, one of the proudest moments I have, because I am an only girl in a family of all boys, and back in my days, ladies did not get the opportunity to play football. But ladies did eventually get the opportunity to play football, and my father was part of helping to develop women's football, and we're very lucky. We have 3 Donegal people on the national team, just like we had 3 very renowned players from Donegal on the men's national team. So we are on the up and up in Donegal. But tonight we want to give thanks to the Heritage Committee for the work that they put in putting up the seat. To Packie, especially for taking time out. Packie, we know that you have a busy schedule and we know that you're on many demand, but I think it was for the hard work that Bea and her husband did to bring you up the road from Burton Port to take that time, and we are very grateful that you give us your time tonight. And all of you have said about the beautiful seat, and that is the work of John Daly and Sons. My brother does also work in John Daly and Sons, but many of you know they are memorialed for a very long time in the town, and we're very grateful for the hard work. And as Packie said, there's a lot of hard graft. But we're also very grateful that all of you turned out tonight. I lived at 69 Lower Main Street, and I lived in it until I was 11. And Letterkenny is a very changed place. I'm out of home for a very, very, very long time, and I spent over 20 years abroad. And I don't know Letterkenny anymore. But when I stand in certain parts of the town and sadly see the way Lower Main Street is, it really saddens me to think of all the families that lived on Lower Main Street. And it was a high activity back in my day when shops used to be open at 9 o'clock on a Saturday night, and people came from far and wide, and we thought we lived in the centre of the universe. So it's really nice to see people come back to remember, because remembering is important, but also to remember that communities are made up of people like you, and we need community more than ever. And as Packie said, social media may have taken its toll for some people, but human contact is what matters. So whatever bit you do, from many of you that are here, still keep doing it, because it is the communities that matter, and my father believed in that very much. So thank you all.
Thank you very much, Sheila. Wonderfully, wonderfully put indeed. I was wondering what place you might have played in the pitch if you were playing football, but maybe we'll leave that for discussion later on. We have a few little presentations now. First of all, to our guest of honour, Packie Bonnar. I believe Johnny Joe McCollum is going to present him with something. Try. And I'm also now going to go down and present this to Johnny. Many of you will possibly aware, or not to Johnny, to Packie. This was a publication we did last year of the Donegal Summer Cups. I don't know whether Packie has ever received it, but I suspect there will be bits and pieces and names, both of writers and players, who will be familiar to you. So I'm going to just drop this down to and now I'm going to ask, I think, Joanne to present something to Betty. And it's all right, it's not a pile of washing. So that's more or less it. We'd love you to stay and have a cup of tea, a coffee, a biscuit or two, and obviously there's a bar around the corner there where you can have something more than that, tea and coffee. We will provide for you the rest of the stuff. No, I'm afraid not. I'd like to thank the Dailies for their magnificent work on the seat, the Curran family for just making this so easy for us. Really made this so easy. Packie for fitting us in. It was so much appreciated, but I don't think we would have been able to do that ourselves. We needed this front row here to achieve that, so thank you so much. One final thing. This morning I went out to New Lake and I decided I'd go and have a look for Gorey's grave. And the only instructions I had were to walk down the hill a good bit, look for a ball in the distance and follow that. And that's what I did. And I came to the grave and I stood at it for a minute this morning, and then I looked down and saw some writing on a little slab, and it touched me, and I thought it was lovely, and so I wrote it down, because I think today we've been celebrating somebody who contributed a lot to football, but he was also a husband and a father. So I'm just going to read out what was written on that piece of stone. You always had a smile to share, time to give and time to care, a loving nature, kind and true. These are the memories we have of you. And I think if everybody could be remembered in that way, what a wonderful world this would be. So, Gorey Curran, thank you. Good night.